welcome back to another video. I know a lot of you probably already know that my absolute favorite electric pencil sharpener is no longer available on Amazon. And this is a very sad, sad day, y'all. It really, really is. So many of you in my Facebook group wanted to put this pencil sharpener on your Christmas lists, and you went to Amazon and tried to find it through my link. And when you went to my link, it said currently unavailable. And so I had so many questions from so many of you in either the comments on my YouTube videos or in my Facebook group. And so many people have been upset, and for good reason. This pencil sharpener has been so good to me, and I absolutely love it. Before this pencil sharpener, I was not able to find another electric sharpener out of all of the ones that I had tested that would auto stop for me when it was supposed to. And if this breaks, I'm gonna cry. Now, I reached out to the company and they sent me the replacement pencil sharpener. So today in this video, we are going to unbox this pencil sharpener, take a look at it, see what the differences are. I have a bunch of pencils sitting over here off to the side, all different sizes, shapes, and all of that. And we are going to test them in the pencil sharpener and see if this one stands up to this trusty original Jarlink pencil sharpener. If you check the description box down below, you will find links down there for my Facebook group, my Etsy shop, my email list, and my Patreon if you would like to support me there. I also now have channel membership. If you would like more information about that, you can click the join button down below the video. So let's go ahead and get this pencil sharpener unboxed. I have not opened it at all yet. I've not even looked at it. I've not tested it out on my own because I wanted to be able to do that with you all in this video. So this one does come with an AC adapter. Now let's pull the pencil sharpener out and take it out of the plastic. So before we get into testing the pencil sharpener and comparing the two and see if this one is a good replacement for my original, very trusty Jarlink, let's look at some of the important information that's on the box. So some of the things that really stand out to me is here it mentions that it has two sharpness settings, blunt and sharp. Now, if you remember, the other one has 3 different settings on it, and we'll talk about that as we get a little bit further into the video. This one says it has a large capacity pencil shavings container. This one did also have a very large shavings container. It looks like, just looking at this one, that it is very comparable. It says on here, press to start the machine. I'm assuming that means you just put the pencil in and it will automatically start, just like this one did. Let's go ahead and turn it over here to the side of the box. There is some more information over here. It says, please insert a standard power supply when using. So like I said, it does come with the AC adapter. This is just a standard one. So if you were to lose this, I'm sure you could always go on Amazon and buy another power supply. Do not sharpen a wax pencil or chalk with this sharpener to avoid machine damage. Now, a lot of you were asking about this and have asked about this for a very long time because this pencil sharpener mentions the exact same thing. When they say wax pencil, I don't think they actually mean a wax pencil like a Prismacolor. I think what they mean is something more like a crayon. Like you could never just take a very waxy crayon and put it into the pencil sharpener because you will definitely damage it. And then it tells you here to not use alcohol to clean the machine. A lot of people like to use alcohol when they're cleaning things, and that is really good to know because I would have never thought of that. I use alcohol to disinfect things all the time. So let's go ahead and just undo the AC adapter. So here is a little hole on the back of it, and this just goes in there just like that. And this is quite long, so if you are a little bit further from your coloring space with your pencil sharpener, that should not be an issue. I have it plugged in now, so it should work. Now, as far as the way the two of these look, they are almost exactly the same height. One just has a little bit of a different design than the other. If we turn them both to the bottom, they do both have the non-skid foot pads on them. So if you are setting them on a desk or a table, they're not going to move back and forth. Both of them are advertised to be able to fit pencils anywhere from 6 to 12 millimeters. So they do have the bigger hole on top, and they should sharpen most all of your pencils, but we're going to find out today when I get to the part of the video where we test several different pencils. So let's see how the tops come off. So this one, it came off here, and so you could empty it like that if you wanted to, but it also, if you wanted to clean it even better and so that you could get to the blade, it also comes apart right here as well. I don't want to open it all the way because I will have shavings all over my desk, but this one comes open in both of those places, and then this just screws back on top. Now let's see how this one opens. Oh, and of course I've got shavings all over my desk. So this one also turns and then lifts off just like that. So they're the same in that way. So the bottom part also comes off. This one has the helical blade, just like the previous one does. So it looks like as far as those things go, they are pretty much the same. And then it just screws right back on, and then you would take the top and screw the top back on too. So those features are pretty much exactly the same. So on this one, you're gonna have the little wheel here with the 3 different settings. This is the sharpest, and then this is blunt. And I have always kept this on 3. I find that that gives me the best lead for my colored pencils, especially my Prismacolors, and it auto stops exactly where I need it to. But if you turn all the way over here to number 1 would be the sharpest, and then as you go this way, this is number 2, then you have medium, and then number 3 is the most blunt. If you have this pencil sharpener at home, I would recommend not putting it on 1 because the auto stop is definitely not going to stop where you want it to. Let's look at the new one. So this one is a little bit different. It does still have the same turn wheel, but it is only going to have 2 different settings. So it's going to have sharp and then blunt. So it shows you right here on the turn dial which one is sharp and which one is blunt. It looks like this is the sharper one, and then if you go this way, it looks like that might be more blunt. But we're going to test it out and we're going to see what happens with each one of those settings. So let me go ahead and talk about pricing a little bit, because when this one was available, it was always between $21 and $25. It would sort of jump around from time to time, and I think the lowest it ever was the $21. But I think it pretty much stayed right around $23. I think the only time that it had dropped as low as $20 or $21 was around Black Friday. This new one here is actually cheaper. Right now, as of the time I'm filming this video, this one is $28.99, but it also has a $10 coupon attached to it. So you can actually pick this one up for $18.99. Now this one does come in 2 colors. This one used to come in black and blue, and this one also comes in black and blue. Now the one major difference about these 2 pencil sharpeners is this one you are going to have to plug it in. And this one here is actually rechargeable. It comes with a USB that you just plug into here, and then once it's charged, you can just move it around and keep it on your desk, put it wherever you want to, and take it with you if you wanted to. Now, it's not going to be the same thing with this one because this one is going to have to remain plugged in. So I think we need to go ahead and test some pencils in this one, and we need to test out the auto stop, and we need to see about the 2 different points that it's going to give us on our pencil. The first pencil I'm going to try is my hexagonal pencil. So I've got Black Widows. I grabbed 2 of them here, and I actually broke the lead on this for the video so that y'all can see what this pencil sharpener does. Most of you know that this one did sharpen any pencil. It sharpens the Black Widows, the Pablos, so any hexagonal pencil, and it also sharpened some of the pencils that were a little bit bigger in circumference. It sharpens the polychromos without a problem and does auto stop on those. And it also is wonderful with the square brute fooners, which are very hard to find a pencil sharpener for. So let's go ahead and start with the Black Widow. I have this on what I think is the more blunt setting. So I'm going to put it in here, and then I'm going to see if I just barely have to push down to get it going. And then we're going to see if it auto stops where it's supposed to, just like this one always has. And it auto stopped. And there is my lead. Oh, I think that this one might be a winner. We're going to find out though. We're going to keep going and test the rest of these pencils. Okay, so I have another Black Widow here. And I'm going to go ahead and sharpen on this one so that we can compare the leads from one pencil sharpener to another. Now, I do have this one on the 3, and that has always been the more blunt setting, and that's what I used on this one. Okay, so let's just push it down. And it auto stopped, and that is my lead. And so there is the difference in the two. The pink one is the one in the new sharpener, and the darker red one is the one in the older sharpener. But they look pretty much exactly the same. Now I'm going to turn this to the sharper setting. Yo. Now that kept on going, and I had to stop it. So no, don't put your pencils in there on that setting. Leave it on the more blunt one. I'm going to hold this a little bit closer so that y'all can see it. But if you purchase this pencil sharpener, this is the one that tells you that it is going to be sharper. And then if we turn it, this is the one that's going to sharpen your pencils to the more blunt setting, and that is the one you want. But if I hadn't stopped it, the auto stop would not have stopped, and it would have just kept going on my pencil. And this is already super, super sharp. So let me go ahead and hold these close together so you can see. But this is on the first setting, and then the darker red one is on the second setting. So now we know that our hexagonal pencils are going to work beautifully in here, so that is a plus. That's awesome. So we need to try the square brute Fooners now, but I'm not going to test those out on both of these settings. We know now that we need to leave it on the blunt setting, and I am not crazy enough to put any of my pencils, especially my more expensive pencils, in there with the other setting. So now that we have the right setting on here and we know which one is the best, we are going to test the square brute Fooners, and y'all, I broke this one pretty good. So we're really testing out this pencil sharpener today. I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. I'm just going to barely push. And it sharpened my pencil to the perfect point. Now this one took a little bit longer to sharpen because I did break it quite a lot. But if you're just freshening up your pencil, I'm sure that it would not do that. Let's go ahead and put this one in here just to make sure. This one, I did not break the lead, but it is still pretty dull. So let's try this one out. And it stopped. It gave us the perfect lead. So here are the two leads, and you can see even on the one that was broken down quite a lot, the new sharpened lead looks exactly like the one that just had a blunt tip on it. So that's another plus. This one works beautifully with the brute Fooners. I know so many of you always want to make sure you have a pencil sharpener that works with the square pencils. So we've got 2 down, and then we are just going to test a couple others. I have my Polychromos, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do the comparison with these because I know that I have it on the right setting and these need sharpened anyway. So I have a yellow Polychromos and a red Polychromos, and I'm going to do one in one pencil sharpener and the other in the other on the appropriate setting. So the Polychromos are a little bit wider and it goes in there very nicely. And it gave us a beautiful sharp lead. Now let's see the comparison on the older Jarlink. And there you go. So they look exactly the same. Okay, so that's a plus. And then I have 2 of my Prismacolors that have blunt tips, and we're going to test both of these out on each one of the pencil sharpeners. So let's go ahead and put this Prismacolor in here. And it auto stopped. And then let's try it on the older one. And it auto stopped pretty much at the same time. Now, if you saw, the leads on these two were pretty much about the same bluntness, and now they look like this. So they look pretty much exactly the same in each one of the pencil sharpeners. So I went and grabbed a Crayola pencil, and I feel like it's very, very important to test the Crayolas in here because they are a very hard pencil. Y'all know I absolutely love my Doll 133. It is one of my favorite pencil sharpeners, but it is manual. And for those of you that have issues with your hands and you need an electric pencil sharpener, I feel like this is very, very important to test the Crayola, because when you put the Crayola in here, you have to really, really use a lot of effort to turn this. So let's go ahead and stick the Crayola in here. It goes in there very nicely, and then I'm just going to push down. And it stopped when it was supposed to, and it sharpened it no problem. So it works wonderfully on the Crayolas as well. I was really curious about this pencil sharpener because it is supposed to be a replacement for this one. So really the only difference I'm finding with this one compared to this one is this one has 2 settings on it, and this one had 3 settings on it. Now, I don't think that makes much of a difference at all, because I only use 1 setting on either pencil sharpener. I will never have a need for the other settings. I never want it to eat away my pencils. If you have this Jarlink, the older Jarlink at home that we can't get anymore, always leave it on 3. If you want a new pencil sharpener or need a new electric pencil sharpener and you decide to go with this one, always leave it on this setting right here that shows the picture of the more blunt tip, and you are good to go. The other difference is that this one you have to plug in, and this one is rechargeable. Now, you do have to plug this one in to charge it up, but you don't have to leave it charged in, and a charge lasts quite a long time, and you can move it around and take it with you. This one you are going to have to keep plugged in, but if you have a coloring space and you keep it close to you at all times, I don't see why that should be an issue. This one right now, like I said, as of the time I'm filming this video, is a few dollars cheaper than this one ever was. And we also found out that this new one will sharpen our square pencils, our hexagonal pencils, our polychromos, and our Prismacolors. And I'm always very, very paranoid with my Prismacolors because I don't want my Prismacolors to just be eaten away. But I would say that this is a really good replacement, and I don't really see that big of a difference. The top part of the pencil sharpener where it holds your pencil shavings is really large, just like this one is. They're pretty much the same size. I love the large capacity on both of these because you don't very often have to empty it. Unless, of course, you've just gotten a new set of pencils and you've used it to sharpen a whole entire set. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you decide that you would like to pick up this pencil sharpener for yourself, I will have the link for it down in the description box below. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Happy coloring. Bye.